Eric Muathe at Muathe.com. Let's take another look at the ultimate Muathe breakout as we now consider the Nasdaq coming back to 2000 highs for the first time in 15 years. And during this period, these are the best performing stocks between March of 2000 and early 2015. You can see the best performing stock since then is Monster Beverage, which is up 52,000%. And so we're going to take a look at the charts to see whether the ultimate Muathe breakout brought you closer to the action in terms of timing. So let's go to the charts. We begin by taking a look at the monthly charts, and all these are monthly charts to save time, and we are going to go through them quickly. You see here MNST, great move, 52,000% since March of 2009, and we can see here that there was an ultimate Muathe breakout here in 2003 when the stock was trading close to $1, something in that range. Great move. And we can also see that there were other instances of ultimate Muathe breakouts. For example, you can see that it broke out somewhere here in 2011, which was during this price breakout. And we can also see another breakout here in 2014 at about $74 right there, when the stock is now moving its monthly RSI above 69.10. Now keep in mind that the MACDs were also playing their part, and just to show you in this example, I might not show the other MACDs just to save time, but during this breakout here in 2003, you can see that the MACDs, you can't see them because they're really squeezed in there, but the MACDs were also breaking out here. Or you can take this breakout in 2011 as it moved above 69.1, which is also another variation of the ultimate Muathe breakout. We can clearly see that the MACDs were also breaking out to new highs here. Now remember, they don't have to be at new highs. The requirement is that the MACD just be at minimum 3-year highs. So the ultimate Muathe breakout was met on multiple occasions for this great moving stock. Let's move on here. We take a look at GMCR, which had another great performance since 2000, and we go back to the breakout here. There was a breakout in 2005, and at the time we can see that the RSI was moving to 3-year highs. In fact, if you go back, there was another ultimate Muathe breakout in 2000 during this breakout here, and we can also see that the price was breaking out. So the ultimate Muathe breakout was successful there. But here we are looking at the 2005 breakout, which was great. We also see that it moved to new highs in price there. It's hard to see because the stock has moved a lot over the last 15 years or so. And the MACDs, to be honest, here you can see them very well, but the MACDs were also doing well. Keep in mind that this is also showing another breakout here in 2009, and that breakout took place with the RSI moving above that magic number of 69.1 on the monthly. Remember, all these are monthly charts, so you can spend time in looking at some of these stocks and researching, and you'll see that most of these breakouts did take place with the ultimate Muathe breakout in mind. For example, in this instant, take a look at the breakout in mid 2010. Just want to show you that breakout. So this breakout here in 2010 there also corresponds with the RSI moving above 69.10 again, and we see that the MACDs did also break out here and also in this MACD breakout. So the ultimate Muathe breakout was in play there in late 2010, and you can see that was a very successful time in the stock, because after breaking out there, it had a nice move from about 35, 36. In a couple of months was trading at about 110. So there's a lot of data on these charts. The next one is TSCO, and recently we see that it had an ultimate Muathe breakout just before this massive move, and you can see the ultimate Muathe breakout right there. So that's a good breakout. In fact, there was also another breakout earlier somewhere here with the RSI moving to 3-year high. So you have two instances. There's a 3-year move here on the RSI, and there's also another move to 3-year highs here. So both of them, let's take a look at what the MACDs were doing just to make sure. And we see that at that time, so we are looking at two breakouts. Breakout number 1 to 3-year RSI highs on the monthly, and number 2 there. Let's take a look at the MACDs were also moving to 3-year highs here, and again 3-year highs move there, and also the main MACD was also trading at 3-year highs. So we see in each instant the ultimate Muathe breakout gave you a strong buy signal just before this instrument went on a very strong run. So the ultimate Muathe breakout did position you well, at least in identifying that something was taking place in the stock. Now, if you go back to the prior breakout in 2002, 2001, this breakout here was also successful because it took the stock from, I guess, a split adjusted price of about $2-3 all the way to $15 in a couple of years, and all that began with this nice ultimate Muathe breakout with the RSI on the monthly moving to all-time highs here sometime in 2001. So even then the stock was a good buy for a good run for a couple of years, but the best move recently we see has been that breakout in 2009, early 2010. The next stock on the list is ORLY, and we can see recently went on a nice move, breaking out from about, let's call it about $40, $41. Nice breakout there in price. That was beginning of 2010, and we see that that did correspond very well with this RSI moving to fresh 3-year highs. So the RSI was giving a good signal there. Let's take a look at what the MACDs were doing at the time, and we see that the MACDs were definitely looking good. So we see the RSI confirming it there, MACDs confirming it also, and we see that the other MACD, the main MACD, so all this happened during this period here. That's the window, and in each instant we see that the move began with the RSI and the MACDs moving to 3-year highs, if not all-time highs on some of the MACD settings. So everything was set up, and that's why the stock had a nice run. If we take a look at the most recent breakout at about 110, 108 here, beginning of 2013, we see that that corresponds nicely with the RSI again moving above 69.1, and that also corresponds with at least one of the MACDs, which is a requirement that at least one of the MACDs move to fresh. So we're talking about this period here. At least one of the MACDs moves to all-time highs or 3-year highs. So we see that that is correct there. RSI is correct, and that's a minimum requirement. That was good enough to take the stock all the way from about 110 to the current price is around 210. So that's a good double there in price. So as we continue here on our list, the next stock is ESRX, and we can see here also has had a nice run since 2000. And this breakout here is where I can see there was an acceleration in price, and we can go back and look at that and see that it did happen when the RSI broke out to 3-year highs, and also happened to be that move above 69.1. We also see that at that particular time, so we're talking about this window here, price breaking out. So let's investigate that, and we can see that yes, the ultimate Muathe breakout was met with that breakout there, this breakout in the MACD, and also the main MACD was moving to all-time highs. So you have your minimum requirements there. That set up the stock very well for what was a good run, which has lasted over the last 9 years or so. So from about $10, the stock is trading today at about $85. The other stock on the list is a very familiar one, and we go back to the ultimate Muathe breakout, which was sometime here. So this breakout, and there was another breakout also here. Now I'm glad to say of this list, we got this one right in 2003. Stock was trading at that time at about post split at about 750. Right now it's trading at 130. So if we take a look at the ultimate Muathe breakout here, let's investigate that and take a look at our RSI and MACDs, and I can assure you that they are where they need to be. During this breakout number 1 and this breakout number 2, we got the price breaking out there, and we did go long back in the day in 2003, and you see that there was a breakout to 3-year highs. So it's hard to see on this one here because of the way the MACD is now squeezed, but there's a breakout there, and also we can see that the other MACD moves to 3-year highs. So this period here on both breakouts, we see that the minimum requirement is met on the MACDs and also on the RSI, and since then we know that the stock has had a major run. In fact, if you take a look at most of the breakouts, for example, if we take a look at this breakout here in 2005, it happened also when the RSI was also moving back above 69.1. So you'll keep seeing this number over and over whenever a stock is breaking out. There's another breakout, and I've touched on this stock on many videos, so I know there was another breakout here, moving it above to new highs, also moving above 69.1 on the RSI, and yet another breakout here. Nice breakout in price in 2010, which also happened when the RSI was moving above 69.10. In fact, the power of 69.1, if I was to spend a second here, is evident, as you can see that it moved above 69.1 here at about post split price of about $8, would stay generally above 69.1 until it was trading at about 25. This is after the split recently. Now if you take a look at also this other period here, beginning 2010, we can see the price here showing about $28, and it stayed above that 69.1 level until the RSI went back below it, and the price was already here after tripling in price, even more than that, trading in the 90s. So staying above 69.1 was key. If we take a look at the recent price action, we can see that we had another breakout at about $90, which again we went long or called that because of the breakout. RSI again recaptured that level above 69.1. So we are looking at either the price moving to 3-year highs, and coupled with that, the price, MACDs and the RSI also moving to 3-year highs, and we also need sometimes to see that the RSI moves above 69.1. So the ultimate Muathe breakout did play a nice part in that. Here's another stock, SRCL, and as you can see, since 2000 So during this period here, the stock has moved from about $5, $4, trading at 140 in what looks like a straight shot over the last 15 years or so. If we go back and take a look at the breakout, so go back to this breakout here, early 2000. Let's go and take a look at what the charts were saying. We can see that all-time breakout on the RSI here. You can also see that that window corresponds with our MACDs moving to all-time highs, which is a strong indication of momentum. So both MACDs are at fresh highs, and we see that the price did break out sometime middle of 2000. So that was a good indication of momentum. We also see that, and it's good to point this here because sometimes you don't see this in a perfect example. Since the stock started trading, it has defended the 50 level on the monthly RSI successfully. And this is something I talk about. Even here you see double bottom support for those lows. It held during the bear market move of 2009, which is during these lows, and it's never traded back to the 50 level since then. And that might explain why it has remained a strong stock. Why? Because it has defended the 50 level on the monthly RSI. So the ultimate Muathe breakout was met. If we go and take a look at the other periods where it broke out successfully, for example here in 06, late 05, somewhere around there, you can see that breakout took place with your RSI moving again above 69.1. We see another breakout here. Keep in mind, during all these periods, I can assure you the MACDs were also moving to 3-year highs, if not all-time highs. Another breakout there in 2010, which also saw the RSI on the monthly move again above 69.1. There's another successful breakout even here when the RSI was above 69.1. Another obvious breakout sometime here in early 2013. This breakout took place yet again with your RSI moving back above 69.1. And so you can see that using the ultimate Muathe breakout, this could have been one of the stocks that could have popped up on your screens over the last 15 years or so. The next stock is ROST. On this monthly chart, let's take a look at where it started moving, and we can see clearly that off the lows of 2000, there was a breakout somewhere there. Let's call it mid of 2001. So this breakout here happened to be when we see that the RSI also moves to 3-year highs and also moves above 69.1, somewhere here in late 2001, which also happens to be where at least one of the MACDs, which I show here, is also breaking out. So we have the minimum requirement met there by the RSI and the MACD. Stock has done well. Now, I wanted to show you something real interesting. Relatively speaking, the stock was sideways here for many years. It's only until recently that you can see this acceleration in the movement in the price. So for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years or so, this was sideways action. And the reason why it started exploding is because it met the ultimate Muathe breakout, and I'll show you that. So let's take a look at that breakout in 2009. So we can see that the RSI finally broke out. There was a breakout here, or you can even use the breakout in late 2009 here, which happened to correspond with a price breakout. Again, late 2009, price of about $17. If we take a look at what the MACDs were doing during these two breakouts here, they were moving to fresh all-time highs on the MACD, and also another fresh move to all-time highs on the main MACD. So the smaller time frame MACD and the main MACD were all moving to fresh all-time highs, price moving to fresh all-time highs, RSI moving to 3-year highs, and also moving above 69.10. That to me is the reason why the stock since then went on an explosive run. Relatively speaking, after spending about 4 or 5 years on sideways action, after this breakout and the ultimate Muathe breakout, you can see the stock took off. And most of the subsequent breakouts on this monthly chart, for example here in 2010, you can see happen to be when the RSI is also now moving back above. So we're talking about this period here. RSI also moving back above 69.1. RSI also making fresh move to 3-year highs. So two things going on there. All-time highs, or let's call it 3-year highs on the RSI, not all-time. 3-year highs on the RSI. RSI also moving above 69.1, and that is the reason why the stock kept exploding during all these breakouts. Remember, on the monthly, you only need 1 month of rest before the next breakout is valid. The other stock is CTSH, and we can see that it did break out here for a nice move here. So let's take a look at this breakout in 2003, and I can assure you, even I haven't looked at this, I just know that in researching the ultimate Muathe breakout, I know that this is when stocks start exploding. We can see here in 2003 it makes a move above 69.1, so there is that number again that keeps popping up. So this has to be etched in our memory there, that is when stocks get a little bit of a momentum thrust. Price breakout, RSI moving to 3-year highs, as you can see here. And we can see that at that particular point in time that our MACDs, both of the MACDs, we only need one of the MACDs to break out, but both of the MACDs moving to all-time highs, if not 3-year highs. So the MACDs did play their part during that breakout, and you can see after that 2003 breakout, the stock went on a good run. The next breakout that is successful, and by the way, keep in mind, if you take your time and study all these breakouts during this period after 1 month of rest, all these breakouts for a nice run spanning a couple of years happened when the RSI was already trading above 69.1. So breakouts when the RSI is already trading above 69.1 tend to be very powerful. And we can see there's another recent breakout off the lows of 2009. Here there's a nice breakout there in the mid to lower 20s. RSI also moving back above 69.1. So for another successful breakout. During that period in 2000 and early 2010, just want to show you that while the RSI was moving above 69.1, the MACDs were also making all-time highs. So during this period here, the MACDs were also making all-time highs, and that is why the stock had a nice run. We can see there's a recent breakout. This breakout here in about late 2013 also happens by pushing the RSI back above 69.1. And also one of the MACDs at that time, even though the move is slightly not the strongest move, but we see that the RSI also did move to fresh all-time highs here. Not the best looking one. I can assure you they're better performing stocks during this period over the last 2 years. But what I'm showing you here is that since 2000, the best performing stocks, whenever they started their move, and we go back to the list, all these great stocks spanning the 15-year period between 2000 and 2015, all these stocks, when they started moving, they met the ultimate Muathe breakout. Eric Muathe, good luck, peace, and Blessings. EICS. Woo! Yeah.